Hello, welcome back to another exciting episode. We hope you enjoy it. Oh, don't forget, if you could please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/ResslerMania. We'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe. We really like seeing those numbers go up, and we appreciate everyone who has subscribed in the past, so thank you very much. Now, without further ado, on with the video. Today we're going to be doing some more juicing, but this is going to be a juicing 101. Now, what makes this a juicing 101 video? Well, for one thing, it only takes a few ingredients. So usually a basic juice takes 5 or less different ingredients. So that's what we're going to do for you today, and we're going to teach you how to properly prepare them to get them ready for the juicer. We're going to be using the TriBest Slow Star Juicer, which is a vertical juicer. And if you want to see exactly how this machine works, tearing apart, putting back together, you can see my previous video on juicing. And if I remember, I'll put a link in the description below. And here we go. Now, for this basic video, what we're going to do, we're going to use some carrots that I just got out of my garden. We're going to use some citrus, some green apples, and if I have room, I'm going to use some pears, but may not use those pears. I'm not 100% sure. They might actually be a little too old, which means, in other words, it might be a little too mushy to put through the machine. So if they're too soft, they don't go very well. Okay, first thing we're going to do is prepare our fruits and vegetables. Now, the first thing we're going to do, of course, is the pineapple. Now, on a pineapple, you want to take a nice sharp knife. Most people like to do ceramic knives, but this is what I have here. So we're going to go ahead. You want to cut the top off. Put that in the compost. Cut the bottom off. Put that in compost. Whoop. It's a little over right there, so we got to cut a little more off. There you go. Then all you do, you just kind of slice around. And remember, you're juicing this, so it's okay to get some of these, black holes here. It's okay if some of those are on there. Not a big deal. And you just kind of keep cutting down. This pineapple is not completely cylindrical, so we have to do a little bit of carving, more than what we normally do, but we'll make it work. Once you get the outer shell off, then you clean up all this stuff and you start cutting the fruit itself. Okay, we got the cutting board all cleaned off. Now what you do, you kind of see where the core is right here. Whoops, there we go. Core is right about there. Well, where that core is, you want to start cutting down pretty close to it on all 4 sides. We're just going to do one side for you on the video right now. Now again, this is not very cylindrical pineapple, but we will do our best. And actually, since I'm talking to you, I might as well just do all 4 sides here. There we go. And once you do this a few times, you'll see that we got a core, got a little more than a core there, but for the most part we got the core there, and we got the core right there. So that was pretty good cuts. And then what you do is on the bigger slices, you just kind of core them up a little bit. Now what a lot of people do is they core these up and they put them in a bowl, and then they take the core and they throw the core away. Well, you don't have to do this with juicing, but because the core itself is very fibrous, and if you just put this whole thing right in the juicer, it might take it, but chances are it won't. So what I do is, you saw how thick I made the regular cuts for the fruit part. On the core, I make them very, very thin. So when they do go through the juicer, see how thin that is? When they do go through the juicer, then that extra fiber stuff won't clog it up, or at least slow down the system. So all you do is just chop these up into real thin slices, almost like if you see those pre-prepared butter slices that you get in restaurants, about that thick, like a little slab of butter. Alrighty, there we go. And then you put those in the bowl that you're going to use to hold all your fruit once you have it prepared. And we're going to go ahead and slice the rest of these up, and we'll be right back. Now when you're getting ready to juice oranges or grapefruits or any other type of round citrus like that, tree citrus, then what you want to do is, well, you could peel it, but if you peel it, you kind of throwing away a lot of nutrients, and I'll show you what I mean. What I did is I cut the top off, I cut the bottom off, so the bottom gives a nice little stable atmosphere here, so like when you cut, it doesn't, your knife doesn't slip. So what I do is, you see the pith right here, you actually want to try to keep that on as much as you can, because in the pith is a lot of nutrients. So right in there. So all that you want to keep on. A lot of nutrients, a lot of vitamins, a lot of minerals. So if you can, you want to keep that on. So you want to kind of cut around. It's okay if you get a little bit of the fruit off, not a big deal, but again, as much of that pith as you can keep on there, the better. Now it will decrease the sweetness of your juice slightly, but in my opinion, keeping the pith on is a much better option. And then what you want to do, since you're juicing it, you're not going to be eating it and getting, all messy on you. You can just go ahead, and what I do is kind of quarter it down on each side. So you have 8 wedges. And that's it. Now with apples and pears, you want to make sure that you get a nice firm apple or pear. Now the pears that you saw at the beginning of the video, I did check those. Those are way too soft. If you put those through a juicer, even the slow start juicer, it's going to come out in mush, kind of like applesauce, or in that case a pear sauce. So we don't want that, we want juice. So what you do with apples, of course you try to take the stem off, put that in compost, go ahead and cut it in half, and you go ahead and quarter it up. Now yes, you do see the seeds in there. Believe it or not, the seeds themselves have a lot of nutrition in it as well. There's kind of the old saying, you don't want to eat the seeds because they have arsenic in it. Well, they do have trace amounts of arsenic in it, but believe it or not, that's not going to hurt you at all. And it's such a small amount. You'd have to eat so much just to get a trace amount in your body that you don't have to worry about it. So again, the benefits way outweigh the potential harm in eating the seeds. So there's a lot of nutrition in those seeds. Go ahead and put them through the juicer. Now once you cut everything up and you lay it out, this is normally what I do. I start out with the soft citrus. Now obviously it can be just one type of citrus. It doesn't have to be 3 types like I have in there. But I just like to mix things up a little bit. Then I put in an apple, or 2 or 3 or 4 slices, and then I put in a carrot. Then I go back again and do the soft, medium soft, and the hard stuff. And just keep going back and forth into the juicer until it's done. Because what happens is you want to end up with a carrot. And the reason for that is the carrots, because of the way they're designed, they actually push any remnants of the soft or the medium out of the juicer. It helps clean it up. So there's a lot less cleanup if you end up with this, if you use a carrot last. So let me show you how that's done, and we'll enjoy some great juice. Okay, we're going to go and turn the machine on now. It's going to be a little harder for you to hear me, but the Slow Star juicer is fairly quiet compared to other juicers, so you should be able to hear me. If not, I'll put some captions down below so you can follow what I'm doing. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and turn this on. And again, what I said before, we're going to start with something soft citrus. Go ahead and put that in. And you're going to start to see juice coming out of here. Now there's going to be a little bit of juice starting out here, but that's okay, that's normal, until, I guess you can say, the inner parts, the fibers start coming out, and then you just see the fiber come out this way, and you'll see the juice coming down here. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple more of the soft stuff. Since we have a lot of that, I'm going to go ahead and put a lot of that in. Then we start with something a little less soft, so something kind of in the middle, which in this case is apples. Now if you noticed, I have yet to use my tapper because this thing pretty much self-feeds. Every once in a while, you may have to tap it down, but when you do, you can just do it very, very, very lightly, pretty much just finger touch, and it'll go down through it. And then of course, like I said, we're going to do a few more of the middle stuff. There we go. And you can see right here some of the fiber stuff coming out. And then what we do, we follow up with a carrot. And when you see the carrot come through, you're going to see the fibers start popping out. And that's pretty much all we do. And then we do, again, some more of this, some more of this, some more of this, and just keep going back and forth until we're done. Okay, we're juicing. I'm down to the last of my soft fruit, down to the last of the few of the apples, and just a few more of the carrots. Now in the carrots, of course, I got the orange, red, the purple, and the white. Now inside of the purple is kind of neat. There are some purple that are purple all the way through, some that are orange on the inside, some that are yellow on the inside, and ones like this that are white on the inside. So again, these purple ones are very, very nutritious, and it gives the juice kind of a neat color. So if you can do any of the ones of color, that would be fantastic and much better, more nutritious for you. So we're going to go ahead and run these last ingredients through the juicer and then see what we got. Okay, so we're going to put the rest of the soft stuff in. A little bit of juice in there. I'm going to go ahead and pour that right on in the top. We're going to put the rest of the apple in. Followed by the rest of the carrots. And you'll be able to see, down the bottom here, you'll be able to see the different colors probably coming through. I'll go ahead and do a close-up. Maybe. There we go. It's going to be the red one coming through. Definitely see that red carrot color. Now we're going to start putting the white in. And it kind of got mixed up with the other colors in there. Yeah, it's starting to clear up a little bit. But still, it's kind of pushing out the other colors. But this, you should be able to see a difference. Going to be putting the purple one in now. So you should see the color of the juice come out. A fairly dark purple, and there it is. And you want this to run a little bit. See if I can bring this up just a tad. There we go. You want to keep this running. Oop. Piece of carrot gets dropped down in. But you want to keep this running until this stops running. So when you see that fiber stop coming out for a few seconds, that fiber right there, when that stops coming out, good rule of thumb is count to 10 at the last movement you see, and you should be okay. Alrighty, doesn't look like too much more is coming out, so we'll go ahead and shut this off. Put the stopper down, save some of that juice. And what we're going to do, we're going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to see how that tastes. That looks really, really good. A little foamy. And I'm going to get a spatula. Of course, I like the irony of this, a bacon spatula. I'm going to go ahead and mix up that juice. And you start to see how it gets a nice, like a pinkish, I'm not sure how it's coming across on the video, but it's like a nice light pink, really nice looking juice. Go ahead and put that up there. And I'm going to go ahead and have a little taste. Now of course the best thing is, go ahead and actually pour it into a glass or two. And then if you want to store it, I usually take one of these mason jars and got one of these nice plastic lids. Pour the juice in there. Try to fill it up as much as you can because you don't want too much air in there. Fill it up as high as you can. Put that lid on nice and tight. Put it in the fridge and it should last 2, 3, 4 days. On the 5th day, you're kind of pushing it too much. After that, it's going to start to go bad, ferment, because remember, this is natural, fresh juice. There's no preservatives in there. What you could do possibly is throw like a lemon or something in the juice. juice a lemon. That'll make it last a little bit longer, but that's up to you. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below. And as always, have a great day. That is some of the best juice you will ever drink.